Hey there guys, my name is TheBrokenMachine, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing the changes that DICE have added to the game mode Obliteration. Popped on this morning to check out the changes. I managed to get a couple of gameplay clips, and in this video I'm just going to give my opinion on the changes. So before we get into these changes, the good news is there will be two modes of Obliteration. Unfortunately, at the moment, at the time of posting this video, only the DLC maps are running the standard Obliteration mode. There is no exact date when we'll see both modes, but DICE employee Dennis did tweet out this message, so hopefully sometime soon. So anyway, what has changed? Well, for a start, this is purely infantry only. Quad bikes can be found on some maps, there is no parachuting in, and the objectives are very tightly packed together. So for you vehicle fans out there, this probably isn't going to be the mode for you, but for you guys who do prefer more gun-on-gun gunplay, this is certainly worth a try. The removal of the parachute spawn, I think it does actually improve the overall gameplay. The quick game I had on Shanghai was a totally different experience than before. There were no more players dropping in as you tried to make your way across the map, so in that middle area you're going to have a better time if you're on your own or with few players. There's no more players just, you running across and you manage to take out a couple of enemies and then 30 seconds later they just drop in on a parachute and you shoot you in the back. So there's no more of that. So rather than just being able to drop in above the enemy, now it's going to be a lot more like Rush, and there's going to be a hell of a lot more teamwork based gameplay going on. You're going to have to push the enemy back, you're going to have to push in hard, you're going to have to control the map and try and hold key positions if you want to win. Honestly, if it was up to me, I'd remove the parachute spawn completely from Obliteration. I don't actually think it adds to the gameplay. I kind of see what DICE are trying with it, but I don't think it really adds to the gameplay. It might just be the parachute positioning, maybe if they were a bit further out, maybe I'd have a different opinion, but especially on Shanghai, I don't actually think it improves the gameplay. I don't know, that's just my opinion. What do you think, guys? I just think it takes away map control and map knowledge and all those things, and I don't think it actually improves the whole experience. But anyway, on a 12v12 server or in a competitive match with fewer players, the tightly packed objectives I do think will provide some interesting gameplay. For the larger player counts on PC and next gen, I think over there you're probably going to prefer the original Obliteration. It's certainly not a replacement, but more of an addition, suited more to those interested in close quarters engagements, gun-on-gun action, and map control. There is map control in the other, the standard Obliteration, but I just think that, going back again, the removal of the parachute spawn does actually improve the gameplay. That's just my opinion. From the games that I played, I think it was actually a lot of fun. There was a lot more teamwork going on, which isn't much in public games. In public games, some games you have a lot of teamwork, sometimes you don't, but in this, there was a lot going on. I was quite surprised. There's more players pushing in hard, and another thing, there was more destruction going on, especially on Gold Mud. I've not really checked out the other maps, but on Gold Mud, it felt very similar to playing Bad Company 2, minus the vehicles, of course. Players were actually using the buildings and destroying them to help the team out. So if someone was camping, they were trying to knock down buildings with straws, rockets, C4 and whatever, which is quite surprising. It actually did feel like Bad Company 2. In Bad Company 2, if you didn't play it, destruction was part of the game. If there was someone camping in a building, someone on a roof, and you wanted to get rid of them and really help out the team, someone would just get rid of that building, let's do it. And it really helped out the gameplay, and that's what I felt in this on Gold Mud especially. It felt great. But anyway, I need to get, this video's going on too long. There is currently one big issue where players cannot defuse objectives. This really needs fixing as soon as possible, DICE. You gotta fix this. It's certainly still playable, I will say that. It just means that when you get to the third objective, if both teams have got 2 objectives each, it's the first team to plant wins. So you really gotta make sure you're in there playing hard, playing the objective, and really get in there to try and stop them from getting on the last one. It's still playable, but it is a bug. You know, it's a big issue, and it needs fixing as soon as possible. I've only played a few games. It seems pretty good so far. These are my first impressions, and things may change, we'll see. But that's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for checking it out. Drop a rating if you don't mind, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.